This video will focus on expanding the range of your voice. These videos are specifically geared toward the adolescent female voice. At this point in vocal development, middle school girls go through a vocal change, like middle school boys. During the voice change, when your vocal folds are growing, you may experience some narrowing of your vocal range and loss of certain notes. Remember, vocal range is different for every voice, and especially in adolescence, it can change from day to day. When following along with this video, try every exercise. Be sure you are using plenty of support from your breath and let your voice ring freely. However, if you find any pain or great discomfort when attempting an exercise or at a certain point in your vocal range, just take a break and rejoin on the next exercise. You might want to make a note of those areas and explore them with your choral director or voice teacher in person. Most of these exercises are focused on extending your range upward, as it is easier to do so safely at this point in your vocal development. However, there is one exercise for extending the range downward. Make sure that as you complete all these exercises, you are listening carefully to your sound. You want your voice to sound even and consistent throughout your range. Our first exercise uses the word Alleluia, which includes 3 tall, pure vowels. Remember to make that space in the back of your mouth, as I mentioned in the previous video. The exercise ascends and descends on an arpeggio. You can use the L consonant to help flip your voice up to those higher pitches. Start the exercise with your hands up by your head and make a basket when you get to the top of the arpeggio, like in basketball. This movement will help your voice flip over and onto that top pitch. You can also try bending your knees as your voice ascends, then straighten when you get over the top pitch. This bending helps your body to engage your abdominal and intercostal muscles around your body's core, which usually helps with breath support. We take this exercise from D sharp 4 to G sharp 4. The next exercise alternates the syllables do and be, walking quickly up the scale. It repeats the top note, then comes back down the scale. We start on D sharp 4 and move up to G4. Start with your finger pointing up from waist height and move up and over your head as you ascend the scale. Keep moving up as you repeat the top note and only go over the peak once your voice starts to descend the scale. The next exercise works on extending your range downward carefully. You will use the syllable Z as you sing descending thirds. We'll begin on A4 and move down to E4. Because the exercise moves downward, it will take your voice all the way down to A3. As you move downward, listen carefully to make sure your voice stays fairly light and doesn't make a full transition into a heavier chest voice sound. You should try the movement we use as you sing. Place your hands around chin height, palms down, and let them float upward as your voice moves downward. This contrary motion can assist you in keeping the voice light as you move it downward. exercise starts with 5 ascending notes on the syllable D, then repeats them on do, and ends with a smooth arpeggio up and down on the syllable do. Help your voice be smooth and connected by using this motion. Imagine you are pulling a ribbon from your third eye area on each phrase of the exercise. We start the exercise on E4 and move upward to A sharp 4. The final exercise in this video is helpful for both range extension and phrasing. The voice moves up on the syllable A and then crescendos the top note of an arpeggio on the syllable ah and descends the arpeggio. You should take a breath while expanding your arms outward. You then swing your arms in, out, and then inward and complete a circle while you sing. This movement assists both with freedom in your voice and building the phrase of the exercise. We start on C5 and move upward to E5, which exercises the voice up to A5. But you could continue upward if you are comfortable. Thank you for watching this video, which focused on extending the vocal range. Remember that you should always use these videos in addition to, not instead of, guidance from your choral director or voice teacher. Click here to go to the next video, Vocal Flexibility.